Are you somebody who is trying to avoid to actually feel your own anger? I know I used to think it's not good to have anger, you shouldn't feel anger, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't help you to express it or verbalize it, and it's not spiritual. You might know that one. So you have maybe pushed it down, you have ignored it, or you just said, okay, no, I'm all right, I'm not actually angry. But it does come up to the surface, and it shows you every so often that there is some anger. And in this video I want to show you why it's so important to deal with it, why you can't ignore it, basically. Hey, hello, I am Carolina Cummins. I'm the founder of liberatinghearts.com. I'm an energy healer and a self-love and self-empowerment mentor, here to help you to live your life from love instead of the fear or the ego mind and the society rules that we've all been conditioned with. Okay, so today, imagine you are willing to now deal with your anger. Maybe you've decided to have a look at it because it keeps coming up. And that is a very good move. Really, 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 you must acknowledge it. You must deal with it, because the anger is usually like a protection layer. It's a wall around our hearts very often that stops us from feeling the actual pain that's in the heart. So this is like a mechanism that the ego mind has come up with to give you the anger as a wall, or some kind of mechanism, protection mechanism, that you might experience it as slightly different, but it's a kind of like a wall. And because of that wall, the unconscious mind is kind of not helping you to go underneath it. So basically there's nothing in you that's helping you to go underneath it. The mind doesn't want it, the ego mind doesn't want it, the unconscious mind doesn't want it, because it means you will be feeling the pain or the fear that you had long time ago, and yes, you don't want to feel it. Your mind wants to protect you from that, thinking it needs to do that. So that's happening because the mind has been in control. If you now realize that you are angry, that there is anger in you, maybe even rage or hate, and you know that you cannot let that sit there, be there, without giving it your attention, that's good for you. That's a really amazing step forward. So now you have to take back the reins. You have to take back the control from the mind that was trying to stop you all these years from actually dealing with the anger, feeling the anger, and stopping you from going below the anger. Because the anger is kind of a surface emotion. It's always the first emotion that we feel, or it could also be heard. But today we just talk about the anger, and allow yourself to feel it. So there might be immediately a mechanism that tries to stop you from feeling it, like a wall, and you can't get to it. You can't actually really connect with it. Do the best you can, feel what you can, and talk with the inner child who's actually feeling the anger. Asking her, what does she want to say? What does she want to express? What does she need to do to even, maybe she wants to shout, shout at the world, shout at a certain person, and go outside in an open space, maybe in the forest somewhere, or by the sea, on a hillside, wherever. If you really feel you want to shout it out, then do that. Go there and express it. It is so important to express it, because it's actually often a blockage in the throat chakra if you don't. And by expressing it, you're loosening that energy blockage that's in the throat chakra, and you're also dissolving the wall, the protection wall. So express it. You could write it out if you want. You could just write it out. You can, maybe if you have a really close friend who you can trust, tell them everything exactly as it is. Allow yourself to dare yourself to express the anger. Maybe you were told not to be angry. You know, that's one reason why you might have a protection mechanism there as well. Or you feel even if you do if you got angry as a child, nobody would listen. Doesn't make any difference. And so you've given up, basically. Because the anger has actually got a lot of energy. It has energy that can resolve things, that can change things and shift things. But if you were not allowed to, and you are following that belief, then there's no hope. So therefore, I want to invite you to bypass those safety mechanisms and become aware of the emotion of anger has a purpose. It is often like a vehicle to help you to go deeper. And you can only go deeper and below the surface level if you're allowing yourself to express it. So ask your inner child, how do you want to express it? What do you need to do to free yourself from that blockage, from that wall or that safety mechanism? And then go deeper. Imagine you can go underneath that surface level of that anger. Find a way of going deeper. It could be a slide going down, you know, into the unconscious mind, or an escalator like a lift, or it could be like a cord, you know, like the firemen go down this pole. Whatever your inner child wants to do, allow her to tell you, and then just do it. Visualize you're going to do that, and then you are connected with the actual emotion, with the root cause that is hindering you in whatever way that, you know, whatever your trigger is, it's hindering you to feel more respected, to feel heard or seen, to feel loved, to feel acknowledged, to feel valuable. And, you know, the anger protected you from feeling the actual real reason why you even had the anger there. Okay, so knowing that the anger is there for a reason is very important. Then dealing with it and going through it so you can go to the real cause, to the subconscious mind that is holding a belief in you that maybe says, people are just using me, men using me, you know, or mom is not taking care of me, she is just not looking after me, it's not safe to be around her. Or maybe you fear deep down that you get laughed at, that you get humiliated, and that has happened, and therefore you've got this massive anger towards people, you know, because you were humiliated in the past as a child. So if you're not expressing it, you are not able to connect with your true self. You're going to live your life from the ego mind. You're going to most likely control your life, trying to control people, trying to control outcomes, trying to control people's behaviors, trying to control yourself even, not expressing certain emotions or not expressing emotions at all. And that means you are not connected to your true self. You're not authentic, you're not being your true self, and you're not able to feel your own love, your own peace, and your own joy. Everything is complicated, nothing goes with ease, lots of disasters maybe, or things going wrong in your life that prevent you from actually being at peace. And it only happens because you've got some unresolved emotions that are connected to your inner child, that are connected to scenarios from your childhood, and they need to be dealt with. I've just revised my mini course called Getting to Grips with Emotional Triggers, and it's the next step from there. So once you are willing to go below the surface and go through the anger experience, it's all about how to get to grips with your triggers, how to deal with them, how to work with them. I'm giving you 3 methods of helping you to deal with the actual pain or the anger or the fear or the humiliation, you know, the disappointment, whatever might be there for you. I'm also giving you a PDF that explains how the ego works, how the ego tries to manipulate you and control you. And I'm giving you lots of tips and insights to help you to become aware of what's actually going on, instead of staying kind of half asleep to what's going on, you know, not being fully aware of that there is something in you that needs to be acknowledged, and just try to push it away, push it aside. And it's so important to become aware, yeah? So you become more aware, you are lovingly resolving your emotional triggers, and you are learning to take back your power that the mind had over you all this time. And those 3 steps are the most important ones that you need to basically get to grips with, learn and understand and implement. And that's the goal of my mini course. So if that interests you, I'm going to leave the link under this video, and you can also respond. You know, you can email me if you want to have any questions that want you ask me after the course, and I would really love to help you to get a step further, so you're not going to get angry anymore or feeling any kind of emotional fear, because all emotional pains and triggers are basically rooted in some kind of emotional fear. Give me a like, please subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about living your life from love instead of fear or your ego mind. If you want to empower yourself a lot more and love yourself as you are authentically, so you can reconnect with your true self, then subscribe to the channel, click the icon, and I'm looking forward to being with you again next week. Bye for now.